again. Welcome back. We're going to continue our discussion of CSS. In the last video, we talked about type hierarchy, right? And creating a visual hierarchy in our pages. So when we did that, we talked about how to create hierarchy, and we used color, size, and contrast and style, right? One of the ways to create hierarchy is through putting fonts together side by side with different styles. You can style the fonts by setting their color, you can set their font weight, you can set some other options like the text decoration and things like that. The other thing you can do is you can set the font family. So if you take two different fonts and you put them side by side, if the character shapes are different, then that creates a contrast also, okay? So sometimes they call this font pairing. So the idea is to pick two fonts that work well together, right, as a pair. I have a section in today's lesson on font pairs, and I have a couple bullet points here of things to look for. So we can look for font weight, so we can put a light font versus a heavy font. We can put a serif against a sans serif. We can use styles, right? So we can use one font for headings and one font for body copy and other things. And oftentimes a font will pair well with itself. And that works when a font has a lot of font weights. So if we compare the thin font here with the extra bold font down at the bottom, right, then those contrast greatly, right, even though it's the same family. So we know that they work together because they're the same family, and we can create contrast because we have different weights for that font, right? Some fonts don't have this many weights, right? So, it depends on the font families that you're working with, right? There's a link here to a website called Font Pair. So if you're having trouble finding some font pairs that you like, take a look at this website and take a look at the list of fonts that they have there. So here we are at Font Pair, and I'm going to click on this link here that says Font Pairs, right? And it's going to show me a list of fonts that go well together. So they're saying like Sin 700 and Sin 400. So they're using the same family but two different weights, right? Nunito and Nunito. So they're doing the same thing. Let's find, Fira, Sans, and Merriweather, right? And then they kind of show us some samples here, so you can check out the pages there. So anyway, so here's a few fonts. You can read through this, Spectral and Carla. A lot of these fonts are on Google Fonts too. So, if you see a font that's on Google Fonts, that's particularly good. You can just search it there, right? And you can use it for free, right? So anyway, so browse through here and see what you see, and see how they use the fonts in these different designs, and maybe it'll give you some ideas, right? Also, if you recall, when we were on the Google Fonts page, Google Fonts also offers some pairs for us too. I guess it's over here under pairings, right? So, in this case, I chose Montserrat, and they also suggest using that with Roboto, right? And they also suggest Open Sans. So if I choose Open Sans here, you can see this is Montserrat, and this is Open Sans at the bottom here, right? Oswald, right? I think that's a little too dense, like the characters are too close left to right, Maybe this would be better as a heading, right? Oh, we could click on this and try that out. Yeah, right? Like I think that works better as a heading, right? Anyway, so you can browse through here, look at the fonts that you chose, and try them out. I'm going to go with their first choice here and choose Roboto. So to add Roboto to my font list here, I'm going to click the plus button there, and it looks like I got Roboto 400 regular, and I think I should have Montserrat on here too. Or maybe this one doesn't have it. I'm going to go to import link here, copy my link, and let's go to our style sheet here, and maybe I'll import Roboto, right? So I'll add that to my import list. So this is Roboto display. Yeah, so it looks like I got that there. And then maybe we'll get this CSS style right here, and this will be used when we want to when we want to apply the Roboto font to some element on the page, right? So now we're kind of running into a problem because if I set the font family on the body tag to Montserrat, then how am I going to also set all the other text to Roboto, right? So really what I want to do is I want to use this font for the headings, and I want to use this font for the body copy. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the font here to Roboto, and let me close those down there and go back to my page there. So there's my page in Roboto. Actually, that looks really good. I kind of like that. Roboto is good. This needs the heavier weight though. Like I feel like if I'm going to use Roboto, I want to use the different weights, right? Let's take a look at what weights they have, right? I guess I got to look up Roboto here. I got to go get, I got to go search it, Let me see here. Let me browse fonts there, right? And search Roboto. That's X08. Well, I'm not going to worry about it. I guess, oh, you know what? I probably have these styles set. I got to turn that off, right? Or it's not going to search those. Let's do search again here. Oh, wait, I got to do sans serif there. Oh, there's Roboto, right? So I'll choose Roboto. Oh, yeah, it looks like it has a bunch of weights. So I could use this one, actually, and that might look really good, right? But anyway, I've already decided on the Montserrat and Roboto combo, so let's give that a try. Sorry, I got a little sidetracked there looking at the fonts. So anyway, so I have Roboto here, and I want to make sure my headings are in Montserrat, right? So why don't we do that here? I'm going to do H1, H2, H3, H4, H5, and H6, right? So I'll use the comma, which is the group selector, right? So my style that I put in the block here, or this rule, is going to apply to all of these tags, right, or all these named elements, H1 through 6, right? And then we can just copy the rule here and put it there, right? So now my headings are all Montserrat, and then the body copy is Roboto, right? And maybe, yeah, I think that looks pretty good. Maybe the font size should be just a hair larger. Let's do like 18, right? So anyway, so that maybe gets you started there, right? So we can apply the fonts, and you can apply these in targeted areas too. So for example, if I only wanted the first headline to be in Roboto, but the other headlines or headings to be in Montserrat, then we could do that too by just targeting one particular tag, right? So here I kind of just did a blanket on all the tags. Down here you could target just the H1, or if you just wanted a particular H1, you could check out your markup and see how to target that tag directly. So if I did, class intro descendant H1, then it would just be this H1 on the page, right? So use your selectors, to get the rules applied where you want them. Okay. Anyway, thanks for watching, and as always, have a great day, and I hope this helps you design better pages. And again, try to apply those rules of type hierarchy and use your fonts to help you with that. Okay. Thanks again.